Morning, welcome back to Highland Fishing Diary. Yeah, it's an early start for me. It's 6 o'clock. I'm heading to the mainland to do a bit of pike fishing, so it's about a 2.5 hour drive, so I've got a fair way to go. I've not been pike fishing for, it seems like, a long time. I think it was probably February last year, and I didn't really do much at all. And I normally try and go a couple of times, maybe over the winter at least, but yeah, so it's that kind of January feeling. I think a lot of people get it. If you can't fish up here, I don't see fish really, and the game fishing's all finished. So yeah, kind of just need to get out really. Just need to go and have a go fishing, I think, really. So so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's a long drive, but it's usually really tough. It is for me anyway. So I don't know whether we'll get anything, but if nothing else, it's a nice day out. All those cliches, it honestly should be. Hopefully we'll get some views of the mountains and stuff, and might be some snow on the mountains, you never know. So yeah, it should be a cool backdrop if nothing else, and see if we can't catch anything. Anyway, next time I catch it, it'll be maybe unloading the van or walking down to the water, whatever can be asked, filming. I'll see you when I get there. I'll catch you in a bit. Go, we're all set there. So that's me finally set up. I was going to do a time lapse and all that, and I couldn't be arsed, sorry. I think the thing is, I used to pike fish a fair bit when I lived down in Yorkshire in the winter, and you know, if you go in reasonably regularly, you kind of get fairly organised. And see, I'm pretty disorganised, so it seems to take forever setting up the rigs and things. But we're in now. When my shed's, I'm nearly finished building my work shed, which will give me a really good place to store my tackle and stuff, all my fishing gear. So stuff like my pike stuff, that should make it a bit easier getting away for a day, and that you know, keeping everything together. So I'm not the best organised person, I'll freely admit. But anyway, so I've got 2 rods. I've never fished this spot. This is the spot I was saying I was going to try a new spot. I've looked at it loads of times when I've driven along this road umpteen times, and I've never, you know, I've always thought it maybe looks like a reasonable spot. So we've got a burn coming in, and we've got a fairly deep little bay coming in, and it's probably about, well, it's probably about 15 foot deep, maybe a little more than that. And I've on that I've just got a float ledger with a sardine. When I was plumbing the depth, it didn't feel too snaggy. I wasn't feeling loads of sort of stuff on the weight, so I've took a chance and fished a bait on the bottom there, not far out, maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 rod lengths out. And then to the side of it, to the left of it, it seems a fair bit shallower. It shallows up, and on that I'm using the sunk float paternoster. Again, it doesn't feel too snaggy, but the idea with that's usually what I fish here. I try to keep my bait up off the bottom, and using a paternoster and a sort of weak link. So because it's hellish rocky, I mean you can see from behind me here, it's a hydro dam, and the levels fluctuate. So I mean, but you have no idea sometimes what you're fishing over. But anyway, so that's the two rods I've got set up. When I bring them in to change baits, I'll maybe show you the rigs. But I guess people are pretty familiar with these things. But I'll show you briefly what they are. Yeah, so now the wait starts. I'm going to set up a lure rod as well. So I'm going to just to keep my interest, going to have a go with the lures around the rods. And I may, if I'm not getting anything in a few hours, I'll maybe just leapfrog a little bit down 100 yards down the bank to near where I make my exit point to go back to the van. So but yeah, I'm a pretty much, you know, static. I'll get a spot and I'll fish it, and let's just see if anything shows an interest. Just having a hot chocolate. So the rods have been in for about half an hour, maybe 40 minutes. Nothing yet. So yeah, so I've just been desperate to get out for a cast of some description. I think it's that January that a lot of people experience, so it's work's extremely busy and got a lot going on, and so yeah, sometimes you just need it's that break, isn't it, for your mind, and that, you know, gets so I don't know, it gets talked about a lot, and rightly so. Like, I think that's one of the big things that fishing can offer. I know for me it's a chance to get away from work and just, you're kind of forgetting about stuff. This is a different type of fishing because you're more static and sitting, whereas with fly fishing you're kind of on the go. So I don't know whether that maybe takes your mind off it more when you're constantly doing something. When I'm sitting here, I could start, my mind could start wandering about, oh, what work have I got to organise for next week and the month ahead, and have I ordered this bit, or, you know, when am I going to get to a certain person so to do their job. So don't know, but I'm going to set the lure rod up soon, and I'm going to have a wee go with that as well. And I might have a tiny bit of pilchard oil or something. I wanted to order some and I didn't get round to it. And I'm going to try and see if there's any in it and tip it in that waterfall there and see if I can get a bit of oil into this corner here and out. I'll take this opportunity as well to wish you all a Happy New Year. I know it gets a bit kind of old, doesn't it? But I guess we're still within the designated time where it's acceptable to say Happy New Year. And as always, thanks for everyone who's watched the videos and took the time to leave me a comment or maybe liked them, and all the subscribers. As I say, I don't push that, but you know, it's a really happy byproduct. It's nice to see and keeps you going. Yeah, and again, I'll do another shout out to Dave, Soul Trader, for his very nice comment he gave me in one of his previous, I think it was his penultimate video. It was very unexpected. He didn't have to do that, so I was really appreciated that, and it was really nice, a really kind thing to do. So yeah, I probably will make a video this day. Whether or not I catch anything, I'll still make something, so hopefully you'll enjoy it. Well, for what it's worth, probably absolutely pointless. I do sometimes do that though. If there's a wee burn and I have some oil, I'll maybe drop a wee bit in. Obviously I'll inject it into the bait, but I sometimes think that can help in my own weird way. Put our rubbish there, that'll go home with me. I certainly won't be leaving a trace, maybe a few footprints, and that's about it. Come on, pike. Oh, love to catch one. You can certainly wax lyrical about, oh, it's stunning scenery, which it certainly is, but it is nice to get a fish. I'm under no illusions. I've had plenty of blanks in the winter on here. Plenty. But there's a chance of a good fish. The average size of the fish, the jacks and that, seems to be fairly reasonable. There is some big fish in here. I'm sure there'll be some very big trout as well, ferox. Right, come on, let's get this lure rod set up. So this is the setup that I use for my dead baiting. Pretty standard stuff. So I've got a frontal arm, and I've also got a weighted drop back indicator. It's got an adjustable sliding weight. This to me is the most important bit. I mean, obviously the alarm, because my rods are a little bit apart, that lets me know audibly that I've got to run. But this arm is really important, because this will tell me if a pike sits on a bait and runs towards me and creates slack line, because it'll take the slack down and pull the line through the alarm. It's really imperative that you know straight away when a pike has picked up your bait, because you don't want to dehook one. I'm a big believer in sort of striking fairly early. I mean, if I miss the fish, I know you don't get many runs, so it's frustrating, but I'd rather do that. I've had deep hook pike before. We all learning and that when we're learning and stuff, and it does happen with the best will in the world. But to me, that's your best setup. So frontal arm, drop back indicator at the back to give you an indication of a slack line pike. Obviously, if the pike runs with it, pull it out the clip, and you'll know straight away. I'm just going to reposition this bait. I can show you the rig as well. Okay, so I've got a reasonable weight, and then I've got just some old mono, and it goes to a sort of a three-way swivel, a helicopter rig that'll turn right round, goes right round, can go right round the up trace. Sardine on a 2-hook rig, and then this is the up trace. It just means that there's no chance of a pike sort of biting. If it gets tangled back up on the up trace, if it was mono, it could bite through it, so that's what that is. And then basically I've got a sliding float to a stop knot, so I'm hoping it should sort of keep it in the water, something like that, and hang it, and sort of hang the bait off the bottom. Really crap description, but basically it. Stuck. Great. So yeah, so I managed to cast that straight into the snag from hell, but I got it out, but I lost my weight, which is what it's designed to do. It was a really bad snag. So that's your sort of up trace your sort of helicopter swivel system, and then just a standard wire trace, a short trace. It's probably about, I don't know, 10 inches, and then I've got a 18-inch up trace up to there. Right, let's stick another bait on, stick a new weight on. So nothing, that one beep. I had a quick go with the lure, spinning rod. No joy. I'm gonna put a mackerel tail on. I'm gonna swap bait on one of these rods after lunch. I think I'll put it on that rod over there. I'm just having a peanut butter wrap. It's about all I could be bothered to make at sort of 5:30 this morning. Come on, there's got to be a pike, surely. It's just so difficult to know. Are they just down in really deep water? It's a conundrum. I mean, most places here you're not far from some sort of drop off. So like I say here, there is a deep spot, which I guess is maybe the old river. See, because this got flooded back. So this burn here is maybe the old channel. I know there's a spot of fish further down where there's a river, and at varying heights you can see you sort of follow the course of it, and there's a couple of deep holes there that are obviously from past sort of scouring out of the bed. I think it's like any fishing, it's that sort of bloody anxiety, isn't it, of where do I go? You know, if I go here it could be great or it could be rubbish, you know, it's the same with any sort of fishing. Salmon fishing, whatever, which river to go to on a particular day, on a particular spate. So it's the same here. And I say there's another loch that's slightly closer to home that's got pike in it, but I must admit I prefer fishing here. This is my favourite sort of pike venue, just because the fish are usually really in good condition. And there's always a chance of something pretty special. So, plus the scenery is amazing. It's nice at the other place as well. And as you go further towards the west hand side, Inverness way, there's lochs and quite a few lochs with piking. But it's everywhere's a long drive for me for doing pike fishing. So. So I thought while I'm repositioning this bait, I'll show you my setup for this rod. So, dead simple. So I've got a slide, let me get it down here. So I've got a sliding float, very buoyant. I've got a bead and a stop knot, and then I've got another bead sandwich, sort of a weight sandwich between two beads, and then an 18-inch trace. It's starting to rain. That's the noise we want to hear. Yeah, I should probably move and I don't know. I get set and I can't be bothered. It's probably why I don't catch much in terms of pike in the winter. Should maybe be a little bit more mobile. It is nice to get out. It's quite a nice spot here. A bit annoying about that big snag, but there's snags everywhere. I mean, there's submerged houses and stuff, all sorts in here. But And there's the old road. Sometimes when it gets very low, you see the old bridges and things. So, quite an interesting place. But it looks just like places I've caught pike from in here before, so I dare say it'll be, if not today, it'll be a decent spot at some stage. It's looking very pikey right now. It's got that kind of, got a bit of ripple and this bit of calm, like a slick. Not catching any though. You begin to doubt if there's any actually nearby. Which I suppose is always a chance. No, I'm glad I've tried this spot because I like it. I think it's a good looking spot. I'm definitely going to come and try it again. So I've just about exhausted my food provisions. So I've been through peanut butter wrap, mixed nuts, crisps, double-decker bar. Very healthy. I know I'm trying to shed some of that Christmas and New Year excess, but I think I probably just put it all back on today. I'll have a couple of pints when I get home as well. But it's Saturday. Life's for living, eh? There's something something quite cosy about being under your umbrella though when you're fishing. Yeah, it's quite nice. I'm chilly, but I'm not too bad. I've got quite a few layers on. But yeah, it's nice, quite nice under the wee brolly. Got a few holes in it. It's looking a bit threadbare. God, come on, pike, where are you? Why would they not want a mackerel tail or a mackerel head? Wild mackerel caught by me. I just don't think they're here, to be honest. I think they're somewhere else. Somewhere else out in the loch, maybe. Right, I'm going to have a last throw of the dice with the lure. I'm going to put this Savage Gear 3D eel on. Done quite well with that. Have a go with that. Well, it's coming to an end really. Coming up towards 4 o'clock. Still watching that float. It's turned really nice now though. It's sort of gone calm. It's cold, but it's calm. I've packed the lure rod away. Started getting my stuff together. No, but I'll give it as long as I can. I don't want to be walking up there in the dark. so probably got another half an hour. So start bringing the 2 rods in. Definitely last knock-ins. Oh, that was so weird. I was just watching my float. I looked away, and then this fish sort of splashed at my float, like head and tailed. I think it was a pike. I'm pretty sure it was a pike. Really weird. My alarm was beeping a bit when it did it, and then I was sort of trying to. It looked like there was almost like it was a slack line bite. Anyway, when I reeled it in, the bait had gone. So I've quickly put on another mackerel tail and just put it out in the same spot, but I'm guessing whatever it was will have had that tail and that might be it, but you never know. Oh, it's really weird. I'm just looking at the float and this fish sort of attacked the float almost. It's really weird. Not really seen that very often. I know it does happen, but no. So at least I know there's a fish. There is a fish in the vicinity, so fingers crossed. We've got about half an hour, maybe a bit less. So that's it, I'm heading back, light's fading. I never got that fish. I don't know what it was. It might have been a trout, and if it was a trout, it was a bloody good trout, but couldn't quite make out. I guess it was probably a pike, but it was an interesting end to the session. So sadly no fish, but anyway, I'm going to get up to the road before it gets dark, because I've got all these boulders to negotiate. So yeah, catch you in a bit. As I say, I did a wee outro, but like, if you watched the video, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks again for the support, people who've liked, people who subscribe, and people who comment. I really appreciate it. So until the next one, tight lines.